Now, could I actually make it snow more? No, but elections are won on the margins by a coalition of little things that hit people personally. Trump gets this. He feels your pain in the ass. Kamala ran on democracy, which is the most important issue, but without the political skill to sell it, it added up to nothing. Meanwhile, Trump was running on, I'll make the poop go down. He never shut up about bad shower pressure, shitty light bulbs, and low-flow toilets. And then he pardoned Lil Wayne, and pardoned Kodak Black, and the CEO of Jay-Z's company, and the founder of Death Row Records, and the former mayor of Detroit. So it's not surprising that Kanye, and Wayne, and Chris Brown, and Amber Rose, and Snoop, and DaBaby all talked him up. That last one out of professional courtesy. Now, did he win the black vote? Not even close. But he doubled what he got in 2020, and in places like Philly, Detroit, and Milwaukee, that was the difference. And now he's going to do it with pot. Finally,
Maher has dropped his latest verbal nuke on Kamala Harris, and it's as savage as it is hilarious. The lifelong Democrat. Voters fresh bare eyes lands right after Kamala Harris's humiliating book launch just days ago. Fair warning, this episode is explosive enough to torch headlines, so call the fire department. In the meantime, smash that subscribe button and let's dive in.
I told you so. I've been telling Democrats for years the Republicans are going to steal pot from you as an issue, and now Trump says,
we're looking at reclassification and we'll make a determination.
What'd you expect? He is the master at winning votes from small groups who are passionate about one issue, picking up a couple percent here, a couple there, until on election night it's YMCA.
This is fascinating, especially coming from someone who never voted for Trump. But here's the truth. Trump has perfected the art of winning over small, dedicated groups of voters, and has been doing it with ruthless efficiency. Meanwhile, Democrats have spent the last 5 years floundering, unable to connect with those same grassroots pockets of energy. Maher's statement doesn't just highlight Trump's sharp political instincts. It also exposes a glaring weakness in Kamala Harris's campaign. What should have been her opportunity to inspire and galvanize people turned into a tone-deaf mess that alienated more than it attracted. Maher, a lifelong Democrat voter, isn't just offering commentary. Here is issuing a reality check. Trump's ability to build momentum from the ground up is exactly why he keeps shocking the establishment, while Kamala's campaign serves as a cautionary tale of what happens when you can't read the room.
While Democrats offer up high-minded intangibles like equity and saving the soul of America, Trump says, hey, waitress, how'd you like to pay no tax on those tips? Remember that? And everybody was like, why didn't we think of that? Las Vegas is a town where everybody gets tips, so maybe that's why Trump was the first Republican to win Nevada in 20 years. You know by how much? 50.59%. Because napalm in the morning smells like victory.
And I'll never get tired of saying this. The left are simply too idealistic, too naive for modern-day America. Their policies sound good in speeches, but collapse in reality. Empty promises, dressed up as progress, usually designed to pander to a loud minority instead of the silent majority, while they obsess over gender pronouns, identity, checklists, and feelings. Real Americans are left wondering who's fixing the cost of living, who's securing our borders, who's making sure our families are safe. The truth is, Democrats haven't had real answers to the economy or security in years. Meanwhile, people don't wake up every morning caring about someone's pronouns. They care about putting food on the table, paying the bills, and making sure their kids grow up in a safe country. Until the left figures that out, they'll keep losing ground to leaders who actually speak to the struggles of everyday Americans.
He did it with the tips. He got the TikTok vote. He got the people for whom toilets are very important vote. He got the enough of taking our shoes off at the airport vote, the crypto bro vote, the tech bro vote, the bro vote. He got rappers and kale eaters. Oh, yeah, Bobby Kennedy will never be president, but his Make America Healthy Again people, oh, that's another, 4% he picked off, and they're ride or die. Choosy yoga moms choose natural sugar and soda, not corn syrup, and they want vaccines to be their choice, and they think your breakfast cereal shouldn't glow in the dark.
Trump had one goal: cut through the noise and get straight to the heart of the voters, while Democrats were busy overcomplicating every issue, drowning in think pieces and buzzwords. Trump zeroed in on the basics: jobs, security, borders, and dignity. He understood that what the political class dismissed as too simple were actually the core issues Americans cared about most. And instead of lecturing people, he promised to fight for them if they gave him their votes. They did, and he delivered in ways that stunned the establishment. That's exactly why Trump has managed to pull off what no Republican president has accomplished in the past 2 decades, reigniting a forgotten base, reshaping the GOP into a populist powerhouse, and making millions of Americans feel like someone finally heard them, love him or hate him. He cracked the code the Democrats still can't figure out.
Trump never forgets. It's only hypocrisy if you had other beliefs to begin with. In his first term, he signed an executive order banning TikTok and then got trounced by young voters. So in 24, he campaigned on saving it. And apparently every Tide Pod eater responded because his youth vote was up 21%. In his first term, he called cryptocurrency not money and based on thin air and said it seems like a scam. And who better to know a scam? Well, well, that was then. Now he's on more coins than Julius Caesar.
Another sharp observation Imam made about Trump is that he actually learned from his failures the last time around and made adjustments. Unlike most politicians, he didn't stubbornly cling to losing strategies. He didn't need some grand ideological hill to die on. He just needed to understand what the average American wanted and then deliver on it. Simple, effective, and brutally practical. That's the difference. Meanwhile, Democrats seem incapable of learning from their defeats. Every loss should have been a wake-up call, but instead of evolving, they doubled down. Last November should have been a glaring signal to abandon the sinking ship of wokeism. Yet, they cling to it as if their political survival depends on it. Instead of addressing bread-and-butter issues like jobs, inflation, and security, they obsess over identity politics and pronouns. Trump adapts and wins. Democrats repeat mistakes and wonder why they keep losing.
He became the crypto candidate as opposed to Biden, the crypt keeper candidate. So, chalk up another 1 or 2%. Democrats used to own Silicon Valley. Those California do-gooder liberals who wanted to save the planet. Yeah, right. Trump came along and said, regulations? We don't need no stinking regulations. Not only did he win them over, in his second inauguration, they were all sitting up on the stage with him. There was an entire section that looked like the full range of the autism spectrum.
Another key factor that paved the way for the Democrats' defeat was their obsession with drowning the country in endless regulations and suffocating bureaucracy. Under Biden, the red tape piled so high it strangled innovation before it could even take off. Tech companies already battling global competition found themselves boxed in by layers of compliance, environmental hoops, and tax burdens that discouraged risk-taking and slowed expansion. Creativity doesn't flourish when every new idea has to crawl through Washington's maze of restrictions. Then came Trump flipping the script. Instead of more rules, he promised simplification, cutting the unnecessary clutter, streamlining processes, and unleashing industries to actually grow. For the tech sector, that meant room to breathe, innovate, and expand without the government acting like a permanent roadblock. The contrast couldn't have been clearer. Democrats choked progress with paperwork while Trump offered a freer path that energized both business leaders and everyday workers.
Now, could I actually make it snow more? No, but elections are won on the margins by a coalition of little things that hit people personally. Trump gets this. He feels your pain in the ass. Kamala ran on democracy, which is the most important issue. But without the political skill to sell it, it added up to nothing. Meanwhile, Trump was running on, I'll make the poop go down. He never shut up about bad shower pressure, shitty light bulbs, and low-flow toilets.
Kamala Harris's infamous word salad moments have become a running joke, and for good reason. She simply doesn't have the political skill or communication finesse to sell the Democrats' agenda, assuming they even had a coherent one to begin with. Instead of inspiring confidence or rallying support, she often stumbled through rambling, disjointed sentences that left audiences more confused and convinced. And then, of course, came the cackles, those awkward, unending bursts of laughter that punctuated her speeches at the worst possible moments. Rather than coming across as relatable or light-hearted, they grated on listeners and amplified the perception that she was out of her depth. A vice president is supposed to project clarity, confidence, and strength. Kamala projected chaos, awkwardness, and nervous laughter. In the end, her inability to communicate effectively became symbolic of a Democratic Party completely disconnected from the people they claim to
We
represent.
ask not what your country can do for you, but for some little niche group, it was all that mattered. He's right. It shouldn't take 2 flushes to make my shit go away. That's my guy, YMCA.
Trump's election victory was nothing short of a masterclass in political strategy, how to win over voters who once despised you and turn that hostility into raw support. It wasn't just about catchy slogans or rallies packed to the brim. It was about convincing millions of Americans that he actually cared about them, their struggles, and their country. For decades, politics had been dominated by elites who treated power like a personal bank account, accumulating wealth, cutting backroom deals, and bending the rules to their advantage. Trump flipped that script. He showed people that politics didn't have to be a swamp of self-interest, but could be about putting America first and serving the people who built it. Whether you agreed with him or not, his rise taught a brutal truth. Voters will rally behind the leader who makes them feel heard, respected, and fiercely defended. That's why his movement hasn't
They'll
faded.
say, it doesn't make sense. He's a billionaire from New York, no less. And everything he sits on is gold. How could he possibly connect with the common man? And yet he keeps winning more of them. Trump got trounced by black voters in 2016, so he brought in some muscle from the West Coast, someone he knows black men love, Kim Kardashian. Yeah. Together, they passed the First Step Act, which scaled back restrictions on felons, a connection he built on in 2024 by becoming one.
Trump brought everyone he could into his corner to secure victory, and he did it with a mix of strategy and showmanship that left Democrats flat-footed. One of his boldest moves was granting high-profile pardons, including to Lil Wayne and other rappers who had faced incarceration for the political class. It looked like a stunt for many everyday people, especially within the hip-hop community. It was proof that Trump wasn't afraid to shake things up and deliver tangible results. The ripple effect was undeniable. Suddenly, he wasn't just a billionaire businessman from reality TV. He was the guy who actually reached into a culture most politicians only pretend to understand. That bold outreach won him a slice of black voters, particularly younger ones, and fans of hip-hop who saw him as someone willing to act rather than just talk. It was unorthodox politics, but it worked and it rattled his opponents. And then he pardoned.
And then he pardoned Lil Wayne, and pardoned Kodak Black, and the CEO of Jay-Z's company, and the founder of Death Row Records, and the former mayor of Detroit. So it's not surprising that Kanye, and Wayne, and Chris Brown, and Amber Rose, and Snoop, and DaBaby all talked him up. That last one out of professional courtesy. Now, did he win the black vote? Not even close. But he doubled what he got in 2020, and in places like Philly, Detroit, and Milwaukee, that was the difference. And now he's going to do it with pot. Finally, he got around to me.
At the end of the day, Trump's rise wasn't an accident. It was strategy, instinct, and fearlessness rolled into one. He mastered the art of connecting with people on core issues that Democrats dismiss as too simple. He flipped political norms by proving that voters don't care about elite jargon. They care about jobs, safety, and dignity. He turned criticism into fuel, transformed enemies into allies, and even tapped into unexpected communities, from blue-collar workers to hip-hop fans. While the left drowned in identity, politics, and empty promises, Trump built a movement around strength, loyalty, and service. Love him or hate him, his success exposed exactly why the old playbook is broken and why his influence isn't going anywhere. In fact, his campaign revealed something deeper. Americans crave authenticity, not polished sound bites. They want a leader who will fight tooth and nail for them, even when the establishment recoils. That's Trump's enduring advantage. And that brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, then hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this.